here.
Who is that? It's the Amen and Nidel.
Units enter Strut F. Don't allow the enemy to escape.
Move! Move!
An intruder!
Return to your positions. Increase security. Understood. Reinforcements are on the way to Strut F. Intensify the level of security.
Good morning. Good morning. Hello?
Retinol pattern recognized. You are cleared to enter.
There's someone else here. Send back now ASAP.
Return to your positions. Increase security. Understood. I'm sending additional men to B1 in the Show 1 core. Heighten security in the crew lounge. Attack team, come back at once. Guard team, stay alert.
It's the enemy. I need help. What the hell happened?
What's going on? Respond. Communications with B1 of the Show 1 core have ceased.
I got him. Send me in one.
Retinol pattern recognized. You are cleared to enter.
Raiden, one of those hostages in there is Ames. The only thing we know is that Ames wears a pacemaker. His heartbeat should sound different from other people's, so use the directional microphone to locate him. Once you recognize Ames by his heartbeat, keep the microphone pointed toward him. Then push the action button and call out to him. If it really is Ames, he should respond in some way.
What if it's the wrong person?
The guards may get suspicious and come running instead. Security could get tighter, too.
Try to be sure before you take the risk.
Don't call out to a hostage with the action button until you're fairly sure that it's Ames. If you do make a mistake, switch the microphone for an AK and get out of there before a guard gets suspicious. If you're discovered inside, they'll cut off your retreat and call in the reinforcements. You won't make it out of the room. The mission will be over if you're discovered. Don your disguise and look for Ames while deflecting the enemy's suspicion.
Reporting no problems in the hall on B1. Shell 1 core.
You're Ames, aren't you? You must be Ames. Keep still and listen to me. I'm not a terrorist. I got in here using one of their uniforms. I'm taking off the tape. Stay quiet.
Who told you about me?
An informer calling himself Mr. X, dressed like a ninja.
I see. Take this thing off me, will you? I'm Richard Ames.
Secret Service?
No, I was set in by the Lali Lule Lo, just like you.
What?
You're here to find out where the president is. We have little time, so I'll be brief. How about switching to nanocommunications first?
Nanocommunications?
Right, silence beats talk when it comes to safety. Are you on?
Right here. Do you really know where the president is?
Almost certainly. He was moved to the first floor of Shell 2's core section.
The first floor, the core of Shell 2. Is he still there?
I don't know. I can't get a response.
You don't think he's been like the other hostages? A hostage was killed in retaliation after the SEAL 10 disaster, remember?
What are you talking about? Regardless of what they do to other hostages, they won't touch the president.
What makes you so sure?
The case.
You mean the nuclear button they took?
Right. And the case won't do a thing by itself. That case may be the single most advanced example of a weapons failsafe system. The password is nothing less than the physiological data of the US president.
Physiological data?
The president's own vital signs, heartbeat, brainwave pattern, blood pressure, and so on, are constantly monitored and relayed by his internal nanomachines. This information, along with the DNA pattern, serve as a biometric password, unbreakable even by the latest parallel processor supercomputers. The password entry itself cannot be performed unless brainwave patterns and heartbeats fall within normal parameters, rendering chemical and other forms of coercion impractical. In other words, the login must be made of the president's own free will. As a failsafe, The input must also be reconfirmed hourly, even after the initial login. If a valid confirmation is not forthcoming, the system will automatically cancel the login.
And that's why they can't harm the president.
At least until the bird flies.
Is there really a new model of Metal Gear here?
Absolutely. The black case serves as the launch key to Metal Gear as well.
Why would they hide Metal Gear in an offshore plant?
Haven't they told you anything? The entire thing was planned. The oil spill, the tanker accident that caused it, everything. The big shell was built specifically for the development of a new Metal Gear model. The inspection tour was to check its progress.
What's going on around here?
Wait. Here comes Snake.
That's him?
Use the microphone to listen in.
King, Fat Man is dead.
It doesn't matter. Saved us the trouble of getting rid of him ourselves.
Why did he betray us?
Who knows? They're a band of lunatics to begin with. Nothing they do should come as a surprise.
I'll have his background rechecked, just in case.
You think he was working for them?
We can't discount the possibility, especially with that intruder still at large.
Yes. The man in the sneaking suit.
You know more about those suits than I do.
But Foxhound was disbanded 4 years ago, so it must be the Patriots. What about the damage to Shell 2?
The circulation system for the contaminated water has been damaged. The water being drawn in is overflowing, and the lower block of the central section is flooding.
Seal the connecting pathway between Shells 1 and 2.
The Simtex and IR sensors are already in place.
Any effect on it?
No.
What about the President?
The password entry has already been made to the black case. In 1 hour, we'll need a confirmation from him. His work is done after that.
Make sure you keep him alive until then.
Yes, I know.
What about the unit's activation?
Almost complete. The code has already been entered. All we need now is for the girl to start the system.
The usual method, I assume?
No. The drugs took care of everything.
Only a few more steps to outer heaven.
Who is that cyborg ninja, Shalashaska?
I cannot even guess.
What about you?
Olga, don't cast suspicion where it isn't due.
Where it isn't due, when you watched my father die and did nothing.
It's been 2 years ago, Olga. Let it go.
I read the case file for Shadow Moses, by the way.
Olga, how could you suspect me?
I know that the ninja is not one of my men.
How meaningful you make that sound. If Sergei were still alive...
If the old man were still alive, I wouldn't need to take orders from you.
Olga, Sergei was my best friend.
If you sell us out, I'll kill you myself.
Listen, daughter of Sergei. Don't ever let me see your gun pointed at me again.
If you... I'll put a bullet in your back instead.
Stop this infighting. I took you both in when no one else would. You think any government would have you as irregulars in this political climate? The worst kind of wet works, maybe. But even that's doubtful. I recommend against switching camps. You've nowhere left to go. It's happening again?
This damn right arm. Liquid! It's almost as if it's having its revenge!
How much do you think we spent on that arm in Lyon? The best transplant surgery team in the world.
I never trust a Frenchman. There's something going on. The incidents are becoming more frequent. Maybe that man's presence.
Ocelot, I leave this place in your hands. I have the intruder to take care of.
Yes, King.
Is that really Solid Snake?
That's what he claims.
I thought Snake was dead.
Solid Snake did die. But he's also here in the shell. Either he survived or there are two of them.
Two of them?
And that's impossible. Anyway, what did you manage to catch?
They said password input was complete.
I thought so.
You said the password entry into the black case had to be made by the President willingly.
That's right.
So this means the President is cooperating with them.
It would have to be, yes.
Why?
Probably tired of being a puppet, but it wasn't a smart move to betray us.
A puppet?
We're running out of time. They will fire a nuke. You know what you need to do before then.
Fire the nuke, but it's nowhere close to the ransom deadline.
Ransom?
$30 billion in cash.
What are you babbling about? The nuclear strike is not a threat. It's been the objective all along.
They plan to slaughter millions of people.
No, a high-altitude detonation. You've heard of the Compton effect?
Total disruption of electronic equipment caused by EMMA pulse.
Textbook answer. Well, when an average nuclear warhead goes off within the atmosphere, the result is an electromagnetic pulse of up to 50 billion megawatts. The EMMA field can reach tens of thousands of volts per meter, and most electronic equipment will be toast in an instant.
If one of the key movers of world economy stops functioning, it could mean the beginning of a global depression.
But that isn't their aim. What they plan to do is liberate Manhattan, pull it offline and turn it into some kind of a republic. Hence, Sons of Liberty, I suppose.
Sons of Liberty?
Damn! Ocelot is coming. I'm going offline. Search my pocket. Hurry! It's a security card. You'll be able to unlock doors of up to level 3 security. Use it to get to Shell 2. Take care of the President before they launch the nuke. He's coming here. Pick up your AK.
What do you think you're doing?
I asked him to remove these. I'm ill, you see.
I always knew that the DIA turned out second-rate liars.
What are you talking about?
No need for denials. We know what you are, Colonel Ames. They knew that the President was planning to betray them. So they sent you in to keep tabs on him. Am I right?
You.
Sorry, Colonel. You failed to carry out your duties.
You'll never escape the Lali-Lu-Le-Lo.
Is that so? What the?
You tricked me. I understand now. Ocelot.
You? Which team are you with? Show me your face. You know who he is.
No, he is not one of mine.
Identify yourself. We meet at last. Is alive.
Hurry, get away!
You, but
But you died!
Leave this to me.
Colonel, Ames is dead. Looked like a heart attack.
That's unfortunate. However, we do at least know where the president is.
So there really is a new type of Metal Gear in this place?
Apparently. We're still looking into it.
I've also been told that the nuclear strike was what the terrorists were after from the start, not the $30 billion.
Right. It was a cover-up all along.
Colonel, what are you keeping from me?
I am not keeping back anything. It's not as though I'm told all the facts either. I'm pulling in all the favors I can to look into all this. Just be a little patient. Our priority should be with the president right now. We can take it that they've completed the password entry and are preparing Metal Gear for nuclear strike. Get to the president as soon as possible.
But the president is cooperating with them.
According to Ames, yes. But it's also true that they're about to get rid of the president. There's something else going on here, and the president may be able to tell you what it is when you see him in person. Once they get the confirmation for nuclear launch, they'll do it. You need to rescue the president before then.
Jack, I agree with the Colonel. You need to protect the president for now.
All right.
Got one. Everyone, watch your back. Send the replacement guard for the area.
Understood. Reinforcements are on the way to Strut F. Intensify the level of security.
Who's there?
Raiden, can you hear me?
Pliskin, where have you been?
Checking around. I'm in Strut H right now. How's the situation over there?
We have a lead on the President's location.
Where is he?
Shell 2 core, the first floor.
I'm cut off from the core where I am. It's a mess here.
All right, I'm on my way to Shell 2 right now.
There are IR sensors in place on the connecting bridge between Shells 1 and 2. If you break the beams, the Semtex will go off.
Yeah, I heard them talking about that.
Target the control units and destroy them. Make sure you don't shoot the Semtex.
What do the control units look like?
Take a look with your binoculars.
That's the Semtex. And that must be the control unit.
Raiden, you haven't destroyed all the control units yet. Use the first-person view or the sniper scope to look around.
Raiden, I found us a ride.
I'm all ears.
One of the enemy's Kasatkas.
Is it in good shape?
Full tank. I'm heading for Shell 1 now. What about that Harrier?
It's not on the heliport here.
Good. I'll set this one down there then.
Can you cover the hostages? They're being held on level B1 in the core. Pliskin, you didn't happen to find any other places where hostages were being held, did you?
No, nothing like that.
Okay.
How many hostages are there?
There's a few short of 30. One dead and several wounded.
The Kasatka's cargo area will hold 13 max.
What about the other Kasatka?
I sabotaged it. It can't come after us if it can't get off the ground. We'll have to make 2 trips.
Can you fly a Kasatka?
I have a pilot who's flown the civilian model, the KA-62 in VR. There's not a whole lot of difference between the military KA-60 and the civilian model.
Cleared for takeoff.
Raiden, let me introduce you to my partner, Otacon.
Otacon?
Hey, Raiden. Nice to meet you.
Intruders! Over here!
Damn! Raiden, I'll talk to you later.
Colonel, I need some answers from you. Who exactly is Pliskin and his partner?
I know what you're thinking.
It keeps coming back to Shadow Moses. And now this Otacon.
AKA Hal Emmerich, PhD, a Shadow Moses survivor.
Rose?
Snake and Otacon both became fugitives after Shadow Moses, wanted for acts of terrorism.
An anti-Metal Gear organization.
They sabotaged and destroyed countless Metal Gear units throughout the world.
And were responsible for the incident 2 years ago that necessitated the construction of the Big Shell.
Snake and his partner aren't terrorists.
Jack, why are you defending them?
I look back on what I've done here so far, and things like training and sense of duty alone won't get you through a sneaking mission like this.
Jack, are you okay?
You need something higher. I can't think of the right word, but it has to be pure will, backed up by courage, or ideals, or something like that. I'd stake my life on it. The solid snake that saved Shadow Moses couldn't turn into a terrorist.
Maybe that's true, but they went down with that tanker 2 years ago. We even recovered Snake's body.
And the DNA test results on the body say it's him.
Jack, I know what you're saying, but Snake is dead. He can't be here, not even as this Dr. Hal Emmerich.
But that also means that he can't be the terrorist leader behind this thing.
I've been waiting for you. A messenger from the Patriots. Where do I know him from?
So you're the boss around here?
No, not just around here. I'm the boss to surpass Big Boss himself. Solid Snake.
No! That is not Solid Snake!
What a pleasant surprise, brother.
Save it. You work of mine.
Don't say you've forgotten me, Snake.
Snake?
Right, take cover. Stop impersonating him.
Brother, I'm a whole different game from Liquid. That the best you can do, Snake?
Did I get it? Otacon, we're in trouble. It's the Harrier.
The world needs only one Drown, you fools, for interfering!
Right. This is the Stinger missile launcher. The Kasaka can't stand up to the Harrier. You have to shoot the Harrier down.
Snake, we got company.
I'm counting on you.
Use this! Tougher than I thought! I'll let you go out in style! I'll let you go out in style! There's something coming up!
That's Metal Gear! It's already active!
They got my eye! Fab! Go! Ha!
What's that? It's running on water. Raiden, you all right?
Yeah. How about you guys?
Barely managed, but we're all right.
The chopper?
We need some time for repairs.
Oh.
The president's all yours.
Okay. Can I ask you something?
What?
Are you the Snake? They said you were dead.
No, not me. There are still too many things I need to do.
Snake, you're a legend, and that's why I need to ask you this.
Legend? A legend is nothing but fiction. Someone tells it, someone else remembers. Everybody passes it on.
I'm here because I was assigned to this mission, not because I want to. If I could, I'd be out of here in a second. How could you come back to all this? Why keep fighting?
There's something my best friend said to me once.
What?
We're not tools of the government or anyone else. Fighting was the only thing I was good at, but at least I always fought for what I believed in.
What about the DNA results from that body?
That was Liquid's body. He and Snake are identical on the genetic level.
Liquid?
A deception, for our own protection. We stole his frozen body from some organization. Kind of a hassle, though.
That's all there is to it.
Are you two really an NGO?
Insofar as we're a non-profit organization of civilians advocating a cause, yes. The cause happens to be the eradication of Metal Gear.
We work on our own, but it's a cause worth fighting for.
Why would you stick your neck out for something this risky?
That's the way I used to look at it, 4 years ago. I was holed up in the middle of nowhere in Alaska, drinking too much.
We have a responsibility to the coming generations, to the world.
What responsibility?
To keep track of the mistakes we've made as a species.
We need to remember, to spread the word, to fight for change. And that's what keeps me alive.
You think you can change the future?
Nah, I'm not as arrogant as that.
What you do isn't grassroots activism. It's more like terrorism.
I admit that.
But our group, Philanthropy, received some information. A new Metal Gear prototype was being developed here, and terrorists were planning to raid the facility. The information came from a very reliable source.
So you're here to...
We're here to stop all that. But I also have a personal motive.
Looks like the terrorists have his sister in the big shell. We're here on our own, not under anyone's orders. We have our own battles. Otacon's here for someone. I'm not.
This is a military mission.
Jack, are you all right?
Just barely.
You almost gave me a heart attack.
Sorry, it wasn't intentional.
I know that, and I know I need to stay stronger.
Say a prayer for me, Rose, so I can come back.
You will make it back. I'm with you all the way, remember?
That means a lot to me, you know.
I'm going to save the data, okay, Jack?
Colonel, Metal Gear's already gone active.
It's not too late. You can still prevent a nuclear strike by securing the President and preventing password confirmation from taking place. Get to the President. He's in the core section of Shell 2.
I'm checking the satellite images. Looks like you can get to the core from the other side of Strut L.
The core hasn't gone under yet from what we can tell. Follow the railings down, then jump onto the pipes.
The only viable strut in the outer perimeter is the L. That attack just now doesn't make any sense. It's like they have no more use for this place.
Colonel, you were monitoring the codec calls. That man was the real Snake all along.
Maybe.
Maybe?
Don't let your guard down with him.
Why do you say that?
Because they were never a part of the simulation. They're an unknown factor.
You can take your simulation and... We're out here, we bleed, we die.
Calm down.
I suggest that you do, Raiden. Even if that is Snake. That has no bearing on your mission.
Colonel, you and Snake used to be on the same side. I don't understand. I read about you and Snake in the Darkness of Shadow Moses.
I don't give a damn what that piece of trash said. Do you get me?
This is not a pretty sight.
Encounter at the end of the request.
extreme caution.
Olga, Snake, he's here. In Shell 1.
My father had some unfinished business with him.
Olga, calm yourself. We will not change the plan because of your personal feelings.
Then screw your plan. I've been waiting for this day for 2 years, and I will send him to the bottom of the ocean, right next to my old man.
The launch comes first.
Damn it. Where is Ocelot?
Not here.
I don't trust him.
Don't talk that way about one of your own.
He's not one of my own. He left my father to die, remember?
Olga, we'll talk later. We need to get started on the final checks for the unit.
All right. I'm headed back there.
The upper connecting bridge to Shell 1 is down.
What about the chopper?
The cam-off is out of action. Take the oil fence from strut L.
I'll tell my men to start pulling out.
Not yet. Their retrieval comes last. The intruder's still at large.
Snake.
What about the other man?
Luck on his side, certainly.
He survived that explosion. Listen, Olga, the code confirmation is in 1 hour. Keep the president alive until then.
I know. No one gets in here. Turn the currents on.
Of course. High voltage currents on.
The door stays shut unless the president manages to take out that circuit panel from inside the room. And it's no job for bare hands.
All right. Come back immediately.
One more thing.
What?
We leave for Russia when this business is done. I want half the money for that.
Of course. That was part of the agreement.
We start living for ourselves after this. If there's anyone who wants to stay here, I want you to take good care of them.
Gladly. Gerlukovich soldiers are the cream of the crop.
It's time they went free.
What happened to rebuilding Mother Russia?
The old man is dead. The world is a different place now.
It's your life.
Just as a reminder, I'm going to say this again, one last time. Don't try anything on us.
The feeling is mutual.
I'm in front of the room where they're keeping the president.
Everything all right?
No sign of flooding, but I can't get close to the door. The floor is electrified.
Don't test it. You'll be bacon.
Any suggestions?
Remember the Shadow Moses VR training.
Take out the circuit panel?
Right.
But there's no way into the room.
Try ventilation ducts.
Yeah, I think I see one.
Look for a remote control missile launcher. You can guide it through the duct into the room.
Then target the circuit panel. Got it.
Right, but make sure you don't hit the president.
The president is wired with nanomachines. If we know the frequency, I can raise him.
We've tried that repeatedly, but there's no response. It looks like the walls have a built-in radio shield.
So that's why Ames lost contact with him.
If you need to confirm his position, you can log into the node.
Understood.
Locate a remote control missile launcher first.
Colonel, B1 is completely flooded from what I can see.
You'll have to swim through.
Swimming isn't my strong point. It wasn't a part of the VR training either.
Stroke the water and move forward by pushing the punch button. Push it in rapid succession to swim faster. Change your heading with the left stick. Up will take you up, down takes you lower. Left and right to face those directions. The O2 gauge will appear under your life gauge while you're underwater. The gauge corresponds to the amount of air you can hold from a single deep breath. Once the O2 gauge falls to 0, the life gauge will start to drop. You need to be aware of that.
What are you doing?
President Johnson.
Huh? So you're finally here.
You've been expecting me?
Your equipment, that skull suit isn't exactly standard military issue.
Are you all right, sir?
Is this some kind of sick joke? I thought you came to kill me.
What?
I'm prepared to face the consequences of my betrayal.
What are you... What the...
You're a man? Well, who are you?
Foxhound, sir.
Foxhound? I see. Now things are starting to make a little sense. Switch over to nano-communication so nobody can listen in.
Yes, sir. Do you read me, sir?
Yes.
Mr. President, it's my understanding that the terrorists have managed to input the code sequence necessary for launching a nuclear strike.
That's correct. I punched the sequence in myself.
You're working for them?
If you asked me 2 hours ago, my answer would have been yes. Right now, they're keeping me alive until my vital signs are reconfirmed.
They betrayed you?
I wouldn't quite put it that way. I wanted power. They sought destruction.
But why stoop to terrorism?
I wanted absolute power.
But you're the president. You have power.
No, I'm just a figurehead.
What?
I don't have any control. The real power is in the Patriots' hands.
The Patriots?
The truth behind this country. I'm not surprised you've never heard of them. Very few are aware of their existence, even among those with code word clearance.
Huh?
Politics, the military, the economy, they control it all. They even choose who becomes president. Putting it simply, the Patriots rule this country.
No.
Hard to believe, isn't it? But it's the truth. The space defense, income tax reduction, and national missile defense programs. Every policy that's been credited to me was actually done according to their instructions.
Space defense was initiated by Congress.
That's what the Patriots want the country to believe. It's all a show. Democracy is just a filler for textbooks. Think about it. Do you actually believe that public opinion influences the government?
No.
This country is shaped and controlled as the Patriots see fit. The people are shown what they want to believe. What you call government is actually a well-staged production aimed at satisfying the public.
Huh?
Don't look at me like that. I'm legally sane, you know.
It's not your sanity that worries me.
The Patriots. Even I don't know who the actual members are. Are they financial, political, or military leaders? No one knows who the Patriots really are. Even my instructions come from a cutout. All I've been told is that every key decision is made by a group of 12 men, known as the Wise Men's Committee.
Your office? The White House?
Merely puppets, pawns in a game. By pledging my loyalty, an insignificant son of a senator was awarded the presidency. Of course, that wasn't the only price I had to pay.
What do you mean?
Even if a pawn becomes a queen, it is still just a playing piece. I wanted to leave my own mark in history, but my ambitions were... You'll understand someday. I wished to be a member of the Patriots. I wanted to wield the power of a king instead of being an expendable pawn.
And that justifies acts of terrorism?
Yes. I'd intended to use the new Metal Gear as a bargaining chip.
Bargaining chip?
But I underestimated Solidus. He actually wants to challenge the Patriots, even if it means the destruction of the world.
What are you saying?
Whether you believe it or not, the balance of power rests in the hands of the Patriots. They regulate the country's various interests through controlled presentation, staging a drama that is palatable to the general masses. Can you imagine what would happen if they ceased to function? Picture a massive political vacuum, a space that every powermonger will try to fill for their own greedy ends. I'm talking about an unregulated power struggle, panic, civil war, chaos. Like it or not, the Patriots is an organization that must continue to exist.
So you changed your mind because you wanted to avoid global chaos.
Exactly. When I told Solidus that I wished to prevent disaster, he replied that pawns can never become players.
And who is this Solidus?
My predecessor, George Sears. That was the name the public came to know him by. I knew him by his code name, Solidus Snake. He was the third snake, preceded by Solid and Liquid, a survivor of the Les Enfants Terribles project. Neither solid nor liquid, he was a well-balanced masterpiece that the Patriots saw fit to entrust with the presidency. However, he fell out of grace with the organization 4 years ago. When acting on his own, he started an incident.
4 years ago? Shadow Moses.
That's right. At the time, the DARPA chief, Donald Anderson, together with certain influential parties, initiated the development of Metal Gear Rex and an advanced nuclear warhead. However, this did not fall in line with the Patriots' plans. What's more, Solidus decided on his own to send his most trusted man, Ocelot, to provoke Liquid Snake, bringing about the said incident. As a result, he succeeded in obtaining Rex and the data on the warhead. But in doing so, he ended up revealing the existence of both Rex and the Genome Army, a blunder that earned him the wrath of the Patriots. Shortly thereafter, Solidus was removed from the presidential office.
I thought he resigned.
That's the story given to the general public. Following his resignation, the Patriots selected me, their new pawn, for the presidency.
But that would mean that the presidential race was...
That was quite a show, wasn't it? It was a well-scripted drama staged by the Patriots for the benefit of the public. Even the Democrats and Republicans were dancing to the Patriots' tune. Everything went according to plan, but for one exception. Following his resignation, Solidus' health was scheduled to fail him, bringing about his untimely death.
Capped?
Correct. But before the Patriots could execute their plot, Solidus went underground with the help of Ocelot. As he avoided pursuit, Solidus gained control of Dead Cell, winning over Colonel Galukovich's outfit. From there, he bided his time, knowing that his opportunity would soon arrive.
What opportunity?
The completion of the new Metal Gear project, an opportunity that would even his odds against the Patriots. By stealing the Patriots' most valued project, he would be able to place them in a very uncomfortable position. It's the only chance he has for survival. Once he has the new Metal Gear, he'll declare war against the Patriots. Needless to say, he must be stopped.
Metal Gear is already operational.
No, not yet. What you saw was Metal Gear Ray, hijacked 2 years ago from the Marines by Ocelot. That was not the new Metal Gear.
Then where's the new Metal Gear?
Right here.
What?
You're standing in it. To be more precise, this entire big shell facility is the new Metal Gear.
What'd you say?
No, I'm quite serious. The upper structure that you've seen is camouflage, designed to represent an offshore cleanup facility. The main structure extends from the foundation all the way down to the ocean floor. The connecting elevator is located on the B2 floor of the Shell 1 core. Arsenal Gear. That's the code name for the new Metal Gear.
Arsenal?
That's right. Arsenal. We're talking about an impregnable fortress carrying a load of over a couple of thousand missiles, including nuclear warheads, all protected by a horde of mass-produced Metal Gear Ray units.
Mass-produced?
The Ray unit was originally designed for the Marines to be used as a countermeasure against the Metal Gear variations throughout the world. The Patriots had Ray redesigned to protect the new Arsenal gear.
So now anti-Metal Gears are guarding a Metal Gear.
Ironic, isn't it? That's not all. Arsenal Gear has full access to the military's tactical network, giving it the ability to exercise absolute control over our nation's armed forces, not to mention our nuclear armament. In short, Arsenal was created to be the core of our country.
What kind of idiotic weapon?
Weapon? No. You're not seeing the full picture. Arsenal Gear is more than just a military tool. It is a means to preserve the world as it is. It will establish a new form of control. The Patriots will use it to keep their place as the country's true rulers. Right now, they feel pressured and threatened.
By what?
They fear an overabundance of digital information. The world will drown in the coming flood of information, and they along with it. The Arsenal plans include a system to digitally manage the flow of information, making it possible to shape the truth for their own purposes. In short, the Arsenal system is the key to their supremacy.
The key?
Yes. The GW system is the Patriots' trump card. Arsenal Gear will be fully operational when GW is successfully integrated. Once operational, it will be a completely new form of power for the Patriots to wield. I had hoped to seize the project from them, so that I would be in a strong bargaining position.
Bargain for what?
I'd hoped to trade my way into their ranks, but Solidus preferred rebellion. Outer Heaven, his plan to unleash a nuclear blast over the skies of Wall Street to break the Patriots' control over the business community, is also a key factor in his offensive effort.
Outer Heaven?
Listen, there isn't much time. The football served as the key for activating Arsenal Gear. I've already input the necessary code sequence. It won't be long before GW begins to establish connections with other external systems, and Arsenal Gear becomes fully operational. Stop them before that happens. That is your role.
Role?
You've got to find Emma Emmerich. She's the only one who can stop that thing once it's been activated.
Emma Emmerich?
She's the system programmer for Arsenal Gear. I believe she's somewhere on level B1 in the core of this building.
I thought the levels below us were flooded.
I'm sure they won't let her die just yet, as she's the only remaining programmer for this project. According to Ocelot, she was being held in a locker room located in the northwest part of level B1. Cut transmission and get moving. This is card 4. It'll give you access all the way to Emma's location. Give this to her when you find her.
What is it?
A program for disrupting the control functions between GW and Arsenal Gear. Take Emma to the computer room on level B2, Shell 1 core. She'll know how to load the program into the main system.
A virus?
That's right, modeled after Foxdie, a biological weapon designed to selectively eliminate personnel with a specific genetic code.
But why do you have it?
The Patriots had it engineered as a failsafe, and Ocelot forgot to search me. You've got to hurry. That disk is the only way you're going to stop Arsenal. Well, I've told you everything you need to know. There's only one thing that remains to be done. Now, kill me.
What the?
There's no time to argue. The final check for my vital ID will start any second. If you kill me now, you'll at least prevent the nuclear strike.
Cut it out!
Do it! That's your role!
Pull! No! Good!
That's abusing your right to free speech, Mr. President. Or is it ex-president?
The president! Why did you...
Alas, my finger must have slipped. I'll see you around, carrier boy.
Forget him. He did us a favor.
Without free will, there is no difference between submission and rebellion. My only real choice is to put an end to this charade. Let me at least have the freedom to end it myself.
What are you?
Find Emma. Stop Arsenal. This is my last order as your commander-in-chief. I'm counting on you.
Colonel, the president is dead.
I see. I'm sorry to hear that.
Where do we go from here?
Your mission was to rescue the president and eliminate the terrorist threat. However, given the recent turn of events, we will honor the president's last directive. You must put a stop to Arsenal gear once and for all.
Do you actually think there's any truth to his story about this big shell facility being a front for Arsenal gear?
I don't have the security clearance necessary to verify the facts. However, he was the president. I'm sure he knew what he was talking about.
Aren't you forgetting that he was part of the terrorist plot?
All the more reason why I believe his information is reliable.
Huh?
We're talking about a man who chose to die rather than risk a nuclear holocaust. Thanks to his sacrifice, the Nuclear Launch Authority has shifted to the vice president, effectively eliminating the terrorist threat.
Colonel, when you put it like that, it almost sounds like I should have assassinated the president to eliminate the threat.
That was not my intention. I was trying to point out that there is certainly some credibility to the words of a man who chose death to protect the innocent.
The Colonel has a point, Jack.
What about the information he gave me on the Patriots?
That's a new one on me. I'll see what I can find out. Raiden, we're running out of time. Find Emma. She's supposed to be located on level B1, in the core of that building you're in, right? You've got to find her before Arsenal becomes fully operational.
Hurry, Jack.
It's up to you to make sure that the president didn't sacrifice his life in vain.
Understood. Raiden out.
What's your status, Raiden?
Snake, the president, he's been assassinated.
What?
There was nothing I could do.
What about the nuclear strike code sequence?
He died before his vital ID could be reconfirmed.
Then the enemy's lost their nuclear strike capability.
But that Ocelot guy obviously killed the president on purpose.
Why?
It doesn't make any sense. They had to know that they couldn't launch the nuke if they killed the president.
Maybe there's a way to launch without reconfirming the vital ID.
Or maybe they found a more effective weapon within Arsenal gear.
You knew about Arsenal gear?
Yeah.
Why didn't you tell me about it?
You never asked.
Am I correct in assuming you also know that the big shell's a front for the project?
You mean, did I know that the Big Shell, a fully functional environmental cleanup facility, was designed to camouflage Arsenal gear? Yeah, I did. It's exactly what the President and Ames described, a massive cover story. The good news is that it hasn't really done much in terms of cleaning up the environment, so we won't have to worry about any toxic gas being released if we have to blow the house down.
Right. And when did you find out about all of this?
It took a while, but we uncovered the info around the time you took out that mad bomber. There's no doubt that Arsenal gear is being built here. And it was all set up 2 years ago, on that day. All of it.
2 years ago? What really happened here?
I took these photos 2 years ago.
I know these pictures. They were on the news, on several websites. If I remember right, the reporters blamed you for sinking the tanker.
That's right. Otacon, me, we were used.
We'd hoped that by going public with photos of the new Metal Gear, we could persuade the government. At least that was the plan at the time.
I've gone through VR training of the tanker mission before.
Yeah? Well, I doubt it accurately simulates the events of that mission. I'd infiltrated the dummy tanker to obtain proof that a Metal Gear was under development. Shortly after I made it aboard, an armed group led by Colonel Gerlukovich the ship and gained control.
Olga and Ocelot were among the raiding party.
Yeah, and him.
Who are you talking about?
A man that was supposed to be dead.
Their target was also Metal Gear Ray. But Ocelot eliminated Colonel Gerlukovich and Marine Commander Scott Dolph, and he hijacked Ray.
So he betrayed them?
I don't know what kind of deal was going down. All I remember is what Ocelot said at the time. Something like, "I'm taking it back."
Ocelot then sank the tanker, along with the soldiers of the Marine Corps.
How did you manage to get out?
Otacon managed to have a small boat ready for me.
That was the easy part. The tough part was not getting dragged down with a sinking tanker. Small miracle when you think about it. It turned out that the whole thing was a setup to lure us. Photos of Snake, taken by the Cypher, were released to the public. In turn, we became the world's most wanted environmental terrorists.
It was definitely a move aimed at putting a stop to our anti-Metal Gear activities.
But why did they choose Snake?
Since the Shadow Moses incident, Snake became sort of a hero. I think the Patriots weren't too happy about that.
You knew about the Patriots?
Well, yes, to a certain degree.
It seems like everyone knows about them except me.
They didn't choose Snake to be a hero.
So they decided to do a smear campaign.
I think the Patriots wanted to make an example of him so everybody would think twice before opposing them.
That's it! They set all this up just to nail you guys.
No, there's more to it than that. The Marines' Metal Gear Ray project, headed by Commander Dolph, was carried out in opposition to the Navy's Arsenal Gear project. To be more precise, the Patriots considered Metal Gear Ray to be a thorn in their side. Hence, they attacked the dummy tanker and stole Ray. They followed this up with a perfect plan. They immediately sent a fully loaded tanker to the same location and sank it, then set up the facility to camouflage the development of Arsenal Gear.
And we fell for it. 2 more puppets in their show.
Colonel Gerlukovich and his daughter Olga?
Both fell victim to Ocelot's plot.
Was Solidus behind all this? He used Ocelot to get hold of Ray, huh?
No, he was underground, keeping a low profile at the time.
Then it must be the Patriots.
If that's the case, what's Ocelot doing alongside Solidus?
Forget it. We're wasting time. We can figure this out later. The nuclear strike's been prevented, but Arsenal still has a massive payload of missiles to deal with.
Right. If the opposition gets control of those missiles.
Raiden, you've got to find Emma.
Wait a second. Isn't Emma Emmerich?
My sister.
What's she doing here?
You got me. She's a computer whiz who specializes in neural AI and ultra-variable volume data analysis using complex logic. How she got involved in weapons development is beyond me.
Whatever her reasons, we need her in order to stop Arsenal.
Raiden, find her.
I'm on my way.